Amending the state constitution is a major responsibility. Our constitution governs our basic rights as Florida citizens, and we need to think long and hard before we change those rights. Ballot amendments are changes to the Constitution, and in order for an amendment to be adopted, it must be approved by 60% of the voters. That is called a supermajority. People often wonder, how do you go about placing an amendment on the ballot? Florida has 5 different ways, more ways actually than any other state in the country. 2 of those 5 are the most popular, however. The Florida legislature can place an issue on the ballot. If 3/5 of both the Florida House and the Florida Senate agree, they may place an amendment on the ballot. A citizen initiative is also a popular way to place an amendment on the ballot. You need to have the number of signatures on a petition equal to 8% of the voters who voted in the last presidential election. This year, that meant that 680,000 signatures were needed, and those signatures had to be verified in order to place that issue on the ballot. Many people find that the language on the ballot is very confusing, so we have simplified the ballot language here and turned it into plain English. Amendment 1 has to do with the rights of solar energy users in the state of Florida. It moves those rights that are already state law, moves them into the Constitution, making it more difficult to change. Amendment 1 allows utilities and utilities only to assess fees on the use of electric grids and backup power of solar energy consumers. If you vote no on Amendment 1, you would be increasing the potential for solar energy in the state of Florida. You would not be constitutionally banning private businesses for coming into Florida and selling solar energy to consumers. And you would be enabling lawmakers to change current law more easily. You would also be reducing the likelihood of additional charges on solar customers. This is a list of organizations currently opposing Amendment 1. And you can see that the League of Women Voters is one of those organizations. We have researched this topic thoroughly, and we believe that a no vote on Amendment 1 would be a benefit to Florida's solar energy systems. If you vote yes on Amendment 1, you would be moving what is already in state law into the Constitution, making it more difficult to change. You would be preventing businesses, third parties, from selling solar energy directly to customers, and you could possibly be allowing the utility companies to discontinue buying back unused solar energy from consumers. This is a list of organizations currently supporting Amendment 1. You will notice that this is a list of Florida utility companies, along with an organization supported by the Koch brothers. Medical marijuana is back on the ballot again. It appeared on the ballot in 2014 and lost by a very slim majority. It earned 57% of the vote when it needed 60%. Now, the amendment is back with more specifics about what constitutes a debilitating condition. Here is a list of the debilitating conditions outlined in Amendment 2. Aside from these conditions, if a doctor deems that there is another condition that would warrant the use of medical marijuana, the doctor would be able to prescribe it. The amendment also allows caregivers to assist patients in medical marijuana use. It requires ID cards for both patients and caregivers, and it applies only to Florida citizens. If you vote yes on Amendment 2, you would be moving state law regarding medical marijuana into the Constitution. This amendment requires parental consent for patients younger than 18. It involves caregiver background checks, state-issued ID, creates medical marijuana centers, and shields physicians from any criminal or civil actions that might arise due to the prescription of medical marijuana. This is a list of organizations currently supporting Amendment 2. As you read down the list, you will see that Citizen John Morgan, that's the last bullet, he is an Orlando attorney who has spent an enormous amount of time and money getting this particular issue on the ballot. If you vote no, there are no changes in medical marijuana laws. These are the organizations that oppose medical marijuana as a constitutional amendment. Amendment 3 was placed on the ballot by a 100% vote of the Florida legislature. If you vote yes on Amendment 3, you will be authorizing the legislature to grant a property tax exemption on homestead property to first responders who have been totally and permanently injured in the line of duty. First responders are police officers, firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, and correctional officers. It also allows the legislature to decide whether that exemption should be a full exemption or a partial exemption. There are no supporting organizations at this time, and there are no opposing organizations at this time. Where is Amendment 4, you ask? We've already seen Amendments 1, 2, and 3. Well, Amendment 4 was on the August ballot, and it passed with 75% of the vote. Amendment 4 provided tax exemption status to businesses selling solar energy and other alternative energy devices. The League of Women Voters recommended a yes vote on Amendment 4. Amendment 5 also passed with a 100% of the vote of the Florida legislature. A yes vote on this amendment ensures that low-income senior citizens who have been living in their home for 25 years or more keep their tax exemption if the value of their home exceeds $250,000. If Amendment 5 passes, cities may choose whether or not to adopt it. At this time, there are no supporting organizations and there are no opposing organizations. So how and when are you going to vote in the November 8th general election? course, you can always vote at your precinct on Election Day. Florida requires a voter ID, a picture with a signature. There are 12 different voter IDs that are acceptable to vote in Florida. You can use your Florida driver's license, a Florida ID issued by the Department of Motor Vehicles, a United States passport, your debit or credit card as long as it has a photo and a signature, a military ID, a student ID, retirement center ID, neighborhood association ID, public assistance ID, a veteran's health card, a concealed weapons license, and an employee ID from any government agency. Ironically, your voter information card is not a valid form of ID because it does not have your picture on it. If you are wondering what issues are going to be on your ballot and what candidates are going to be on your ballot as well, the League of Women Voters can help you with vote411.org. It is a one-stop shop for getting all of your election-related issues answered. You simply log on, and when you see this screen, you write in your street address, your city, your state, and your zip code. You hit enter, and you will see all of the issues that are going to be on your ballot. You can read about the issues, you can read the biographies of the candidates, their stands on certain issues. You can create a personalized ballot and take it with you to early voting or when you vote at your precinct on November the 8th. Decision 2016 has been brought to you through a collaboration of the American Association of University Women and the League of Women Voters of Broward County, Florida. AAUW is a nonpartisan organization empowering women and girls to reach their full potential. The League of Women Voters of Broward County, Florida is nonpartisan. We neither endorse nor oppose any candidates. We educate and advocate for issues in the public good. The League of Women Voters is a voice for citizens and a force for change.